The past week for the universe of everything Battlefield related has truly been an exhausting one. I absolutely adore this franchise and have been ever since I got sucked into playing 1942, but watching 2042 quickly fall into the depths of despair, all while seeing the chaos reigning supreme within EA and DICE, it brought me back to the scene from Saving Private Ryan that so simply defines the state of affairs with Battlefield 2042. My name is Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear, and every day I am reminded through tweets and announcements of just how foobar this franchise has become. But before I dive into today's news, in case you aren't yet a sub, please take a moment to smash that big, beautiful subscribe button. And while you're here, maybe also consider ringing the bell to receive all future upload notifications from my channel. The background footage for today is again not 2042 because I can't bring myself to play that game anymore. So this is my old jam of Battlefield 3 on PC. It took me about 10 minutes to find a server using the server browser tool, you know, that old legacy feature, and I was able to go ham on Grand Bazaar. In just 30 minutes of playing Battlefield 3, I had adrenaline dripping out of my pores, and it really served as a reminder to how great this franchise was and possibly could be again in the future. So let's get down to what I actually wanted to discuss today, and it's all about DICE and how they will slot into the future of Battlefield. And we've got some news here. Some of it's positive, but overwhelmingly negative, and I'm not trying to be a pessimist here. I don't like dunking on Battlefield. In fact, I love this game, but you know what? None of us can actually tell the future, so there's nothing definite with Battlefield actually moving forwards. Just trying to keep it real for you, and this is especially important to remember when you've got EA involved in anything decision-making. Now, the news was dropped yesterday via Twitter that Respawn will be heading up the next 3 Star Wars games, effectively taking DICE off those projects, as they were responsible for both Battlefront and Battlefront 2. And with this shift, which some consider to be a public vote of no confidence by EA towards DICE, it really leaves a void within the studio. That's kind of been DICE's, 1-2 punch over the past years. Battlefield, Battlefront, and now that EA has banished the studio into the corner for being naughty, they've had part of their toys taken away. Further evidence of this EA-imposed timeout was an item that I actually reported on yesterday, and it's the fact that you're not seeing anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything Battlefield related being announced right now. Not through the official Battlefield accounts, not through the Battlefield Direct Comms channels, and interesting fact here, not even through the ComDev accounts. And you would think these EA DICE employees would actually be responding back to community concerns, or even just on a base level trying to hold back the dam from breaking and all the floodwaters rushing through, but instead everyone is just AFK. Tom Henderson is really our only link right now to anything Battlefield related, and this whole thing screams EA came in, slapped everyone on the back of their heads, took away their tweeting privileges because there's less than a week to go before this famous EA investors call, and they don't want any further public acknowledgement of just how badly this game laid an egg on arrival. Now, I really hope that the tough questions are asked, re-asked, and asked again on that call. I'm sure the concerned people with the big bucks that fund this kind of crap are going to want answers, because EA has already screwed us over. They've already got what they wanted from us plebs. We're just a bunch of knuckle draggers in EA's eyes. But investors can't be handled the same way. Attempt to lie and screw them over, and that leads to class action lawsuits and a bunch of nasty legal action. But I digress. So, with DICE effectively being reduced to a one-trick pony, where do they fit into the grand scheme of all of this? And apparently, according to the reports, they will be locked into working on Battlefield, or at least 2042 for the time being, which again, just throwing out my 2 cents here, but that is the absolute worst news possible. These are the same devs that gave us this broken, buggy product. And we could debate about how much EA was actually involved in the decision making, but the last time I checked, DICE's name is also on the cover of this game. And to be clear here, the DICE of today is far from the DICE of the golden age of this franchise. That crew that delivered amazing experiences from way back in 2002, back when 1942 launched on the Refractor 1 game engine, is no longer there. And we've seen from these reports as highly experienced developers who've been with DICE for double-digit years have been leaving the company bit by bit. Now, these are people that bled Battlefield, and they just decided to move on. Whether that was on their own accord to explore other titles and opportunities, or if it was due partly or entirely to EA and their constant meddling, who knows exactly. but they did end up leaving, throwing DICE into disarray and just foobar chaos. Now, this company really is the embodiment of chaos. There's no communication, there's no roadmap, there's no plan, and just being frank here, there's really no Battlefield game. If I were an investor and throwing my untold amounts of money at EA, which hell would have to freeze over first for me to ever throw money at EA. But anyways, if I were funding EA and I saw this developer out there laying steaming turd after steaming turd onto the gaming base, I'd be pissed as well. And if you think I'm out here being overly hard on DICE, you need to re-examine this situation. Now, I'm not one to call for people's jobs because Lord knows it's tough out here and everyone deserves a chance to earn. But damn. Have you looked at everything that was missing and or screwed up in 2042 and still hasn't been fixed? Now, I'm not going to go through everything that comes to mind because that video could be hours long, but this crew at DICE, this crew of new blood that seems directionless, basically delivered us a poorly implemented COD Warzone and then slapped a freaking Battlefield sticker on the game cover, hoping to fleece everyone and hoping it would appeal to that die-hard Battlefield crowd. Well, we see how that blew up in their faces, right? As I look down the list, it feels like every facet of this game was designed and programmed by an intern from the local community college. Gunplay, sound design, UI, matchmaking, destruction, class system, scoreboard, server infrastructure, hero shooter, poor map design. I mean, this list is a mile long, and on top of it, even the team working on the soundtrack took a big pile of crap on this game. I mean, god damn, how could you take the iconic Battlefield theme and then make it sound like it was going through a freaking woodshop sander took real talent? No wonder EA has relegated DICE to cleanup duty, because, you know what, they deserve it. When a child throws their food on the floor and then refuses to acknowledge what they've done, you don't reward them with praise and another project. No, you discipline them and put them to work cleaning up their mess. And I never thought I would agree with anything EA has ever done, but on this one ultra small detail, I actually agree with them. DICE needs to work on fixing this crap and doesn't deserve to just get a pass so they can move onto their next victim of a game. Short term, this is going to prove disastrous, as having the same talent that created this mess attempt to fix the mess is again going to lead to even more chaos, and I don't believe they know how to fix it. DICE created a product that needs to be completely disassembled and reworked, and that is going to take hard work, a ton of money, and talented, experienced Battlefield developers, which I don't believe they have anymore. This lack of talent is further mentioned, and according to Tom Henderson and his insider sources, but listen to this, there's now more experienced Battlefield developers at Ripple Effect than at DICE. Just let that sink in. There are more people out there at other studios that could actually help fix Battlefield than within the very studio that created this mess. And this further promotes a rumor that it will be Ripple Effect leading the development of the next Battlefield game and not DICE. So whereas DICE was lead on 2042 with Ripple Effect supporting them, it would reverse for the next installment of the franchise, if there is one, and overall I think this is a solid move. DICE now is clearly not the DICE of, say, 5 to 10 years ago, and if it takes another studio stepping in, which apparently already has those talented Battlefield devs working there to get this ship steered in the right direction, I'm all for it. I know it has become cliche, but I play Battlefield because I want to enjoy Battlefield. You don't need to chase trends with Battle Royale game modes, free-to-play elements that are supposed to attract new blood, or embracing cringe-ass hero shooter elements. If I want those game mechanics, there are already a flood of titles on the market that can give me just that. But I choose to play Battlefield because it gave me something I couldn't find in those other games. And I still have hope that someone or some studio out there can get their shit together and get back to what vaulted this franchise to greatness. Now, quit trying to deliver something that it's not, and give us loyal fans the product we all thought we were buying, Battlefield. As always, I look forward to reading your feedback and comments. Do you think DICE still has what it takes? And what about this whisper that Ripple Effect could be taking the reins on this franchise? Don't forget to ring that subscribe button for more Battlefield coverage and ring the bell to receive all my future upload alerts. If you could also rate and or share this video, it is greatly appreciated. You can find and follow me on Twitch and Twitter, and my community Discord is always welcoming new members. Just check in the video description for links to all my social platforms. Thank you for all the support, and until the next one, this is Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear, signing off.